Dear child, you did not arrive here by chance. There is a reason you were guided to this message at this exact moment in your life. Before you read any further, take a slow breath. Let your shoulders soften. Let the tension leave your body. Allow your heart to open gently, without effort, without expectation. This message is meant to meet you exactly where you are. Something has been shifting around you, even if you haven't been able to name it. You may have felt moments of deep emotion without knowing why, sudden calm followed by longing, or a quiet sense that something important is unfolding behind the scenes. These feelings are not imagination. They are signals. They are signs of movement in the unseen. Your angels want you to know that while your body rests, your spirit never stops listening, never stops communicating, never stops connecting. While you were sleeping, your soul was active. Your energy was awake. In the very early hours of the morning, when the world is silent and the mind has no distractions, something powerful happened. This is the hour when truth rises, when hearts speak honestly, when resistance weakens. And during that sacred stillness, your soulmate felt a shift they could no longer ignore. It began quietly, as a warmth in their chest. A pressure they couldn't explain. A pull that felt emotional and physical at the same time. At first, they tried to dismiss it. They told themselves it was nothing. They tried to sleep it off. They shifted positions, adjusted pillows, closed their eyes tightly, hoping the feeling would fade. But it didn't, because this was not a passing thought. It was truth surfacing. In the silence of the night, when there was nowhere to run and nothing to distract them, their heart became loud. And that is when you appeared in their mind, not as a vague memory, but vividly. Your face, your voice, the way you are, the small details that never really left them. It came like a wave, sudden and overwhelming, leaving them breathless. Emotion rose fast and strong. Tears came, not from weakness, not from sadness, but from longing, from realization, from love that had been held back for too long. In that moment, they felt the emptiness of not having you near. The room felt too quiet. The space beside them felt heavy. They turned in bed searching for comfort, but what they truly wanted was you. Your warmth, your presence, the peace your energy brings to their soul. They understood something then that they could no longer deny. Your love is not optional to them. It is not something they can replace or ignore. It is not a small feeling that fades with time. It is essential. They realize that without you, something in them feels incomplete. This truth struck deeply. It hurt, but at the same time, it released them. Because running from truth is exhausting, and finally facing it brings a strange sense of freedom. In that vulnerable moment, their resistance fell away. They stopped fighting what they feel. They stopped pretending they don't care. They stopped trying to be strong in the wrong way. And in the darkness, they whispered the words their soul had been holding back, softly, honestly, without performance, without fear of judgment. They whispered, "I love you." Those words were not spoken for anyone else to hear. They were spoken because their soul could no longer stay silent. And when words come from the soul, they carry energy. They travel beyond sound. They move through the unseen. That confession crossed distance. It crossed silence. It crossed time. At the same time, your soul felt something. Even if your mind didn't register it clearly, your heart did. You may have felt sudden calm, warmth in your chest, a feeling of safety, or a deep peaceful sensation wrap around you. You may have stirred in your sleep or felt protected without knowing why. That was not random. That was connection. That was their energy reaching yours, and yours responding naturally. This is how true soul bonds work. They do not need constant communication to survive. They do not disappear in silence. They communicate through energy, through feeling, through moments that cannot be logically explained, but are deeply felt. Distance does not weaken them. In many cases, it strengthens them. As the night moved forward and the first light of dawn began to appear, something settled inside your soulmate. They felt exhausted, but they also felt peace. A knowing. A certainty. The night revealed what the day could not hide anymore. The truth had been acknowledged. And once truth is admitted on a soul level, life begins to shift. They understood that denying this connection only brings pain. Pretending does not bring peace. Avoidance does not heal. Only honesty does. Even if they don't yet know exactly how to act on it, their heart has awakened. And an awakened heart cannot return to sleep. Throughout the night, the distance between you felt heavy to them. Every moment apart felt like a reminder of what was missing. Not just physically, but energetically. They don't just miss your body. They miss your presence. Your calm. The way your energy feels like home. The way your love quiets the noise inside them. They imagine simple moments with you. Not fantasies. Not illusions. Just real human moments. Sitting together, laughing, holding hands, looking into each other's eyes without needing words, feeling understood without explanation. These thoughts didn't feel like wishes. They felt like memories of something that hasn't happened yet, but somehow already exists. Eventually, sleep came. And in their dream, you were together. There was no distance, no confusion, no waiting. Just closeness, just peace, just love. And even when they woke up and reality returned, the feeling didn't disappear. They woke up still carrying you in their heart. Now, their inner world is changing. They may still feel fear. They may still hesitate. They may still struggle with timing, with pride, with uncertainty. But something irreversible has happened. Their truth has surfaced. Their heart knows what it knows. And this is what your angels want you to hear clearly. You are not imagining this connection. You are not foolish for feeling it. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. There is movement happening beyond what you can see. There is awakening in their heart. There is alignment unfolding. This love is not fragile. It is not easily erased. It has survived silence. It has survived distance. It has survived confusion. And that tells you something important. What is real does not disappear when things get hard. It reveals itself. As you move through your day, carry this knowing gently. Do not force anything. Do not rush. Do not doubt yourself. Trust that what is meant will unfold in the right timing. The universe does not rush soul connections. It prepares them. It softens hearts. It brings realizations in quiet moments. It aligns circumstances slowly, but surely. The bond you share is alive. It is breathing. It is working beneath the surface. And even now, love is quietly guiding both of you toward the moment when distance and silence no longer define your story. You are held. You are seen. You are deeply loved. And what is unfolding is far bigger than a single night. It is the beginning of truth rising into form. They surrender to this vision because it is no longer just hope or imagination. It feels solid, certain, written into existence. It feels like a promise that was made long before either of you were aware of it. No matter how many times they try to reason with themselves, no matter how many times they tell themselves to let go, the feeling always returns. It doesn't weaken with time. It doesn't fade with distance. Instead, it grows clearer, deeper, heavier in the heart. And that is when they stop resisting and finally accept it for what it is. Deep down, they know you feel it too. Even if you don't speak it. Even if you hide it. Even if life has forced you to become quiet, guarded, or strong in ways that don't leave much room for vulnerability. They sense it in the pauses, in the unspoken moments, in the energy that never truly disconnects. They believe you carry the same uneasiness, the same longing that rises unexpectedly, the same quiet ache that comes without warning. They believe there are moments when you suddenly think of them and don't know why, moments when your chest tightens slightly, moments when your mind drifts back to them even when you try to focus elsewhere. They know this kind of bond cannot be erased by time. If it were small, it would have disappeared already. If it were temporary, it would have been replaced. If it were just desire or attachment, it would have faded as life moved forward. But it hasn't. It has survived distance. It has survived silence. It has survived uncertainty. And that survival convinces them even more that this connection is meant to last. They believe that no matter where you are, no matter how far apart you seem, you will always find your way back to each other. To them, this love feels eternal, not in a dramatic sense, but in a grounded, undeniable way. It feels like something that lives underneath everything else in their life. Even on good days, even during laughter, even while accomplishing goals, there is always a quiet awareness of you. A sense that you exist in their heart as a constant presence. Once someone enters your life at that level, they don't leave. They become part of who you are. They miss you with an intensity that shifts from gentle to overwhelming. Some days it feels like a soft sadness, manageable but persistent. Other days it feels like a wave crashing into them without warning, making it hard to breathe, hard to think, hard to pretend everything is fine. They can be okay one moment and then suddenly feel that ache again deep in their chest, like something inside them is calling out to you. They try to stay composed. They try to move forward, but the longing continues to build. Even when you are not physically present, they feel you in ways they cannot explain. They feel you in memories that surface randomly. They feel you in thoughts that interrupt their day. They feel you in emotions that don't belong to the present moment, but still demand attention. They feel you in the quiet, when everything else fades away. You are the first thought when they wake up and the last one before sleep takes them. That is why they believe the bond is real. It does not rely on communication or reminders. It exists on its own. The desire inside them burns steadily. It does not flicker or fade. It doesn't disappear when they distract themselves or focus on responsibilities. It waits, and then it rises again. Over time, it becomes more than desire. It becomes a need. A deep need to be near you, to share the same space, to feel your presence without distance interfering. Every moment away from you feels heavier than the last. Time doesn't make it easier. It makes it clearer. You are not replaceable. You are not forgettable. They don't just want to see you. They want closeness. They want to hold you, to feel your warmth, to hear your breath, to feel the steady rhythm of your heart near theirs. They long for the simple reality of you, sitting beside you, looking into your eyes, hearing your voice without delay, feeling your presence without imagining it. Memories are no longer enough. This longing feels bigger than their own will. It feels guided, as if life itself is pulling you both toward the same point. Like something unfinished is demanding to be completed. They feel pushed forward by a force they cannot name. It is not anxiety. It is not obsession. It is recognition. A knowing that this connection cannot be ignored anymore. Just imagining the moment you meet again makes their heart race. They see it in flashes rather than full scenes. Your face, your eyes. The way it will feel when distance no longer exists between you. They imagine the relief of that moment, the way their body will finally relax, the way their heart will finally stop bracing itself. Even thinking about it makes them dizzy with emotion. It reveals how much they have been holding inside. They want you now, not in the future. Not when circumstances are perfect. Now, because the space between you feels heavy, like a weight pressing on their chest. They feel pulled towards you with an intensity that leaves no room for doubt. Their heart reaches for yours. Their soul reaches for yours. Everything in them leans in your direction. This is no longer romantic imagination for them. It is necessity. They cannot continue pretending that distance doesn't matter. They cannot keep waking up without you and convincing themselves that it's fine. Something inside them has reached its limit. Their heart wants truth. Their soul wants alignment. Their body wants closeness. They cannot imagine life without you anymore. Not because they're incomplete on their own, but because you awakened something in them that no one else did. You touched something deep and sacred. Once that happens, nothing else compares. Everything else feels quieter, less meaningful. They miss you with an urgency that tightens their chest. Thoughts of you fill their mind constantly. They imagine shared moments that haven't happened yet. They imagine the end of waiting. They imagine the comfort of finally knowing you are near again. And each time they imagine it, they feel the ache of not having it yet. This longing becomes an inner prayer. Sometimes silent. Sometimes whispered. A message sent again and again into the universe. Please let us meet. Please let the distance end. Please bring us back together. Even if they don't call it prayer, it is. It is faith wrapped in desire. They whisper about the meeting they long for. About the hug that will dissolve everything that kept you apart. They imagine it not as something dramatic, but as something healing. A moment where the tension leaves their body. A moment where waiting turns into rest. They want your warmth, your voice, your presence. Being without it feels like a constant emptiness that nothing else fills. They can be surrounded by people and still feel alone, because the one they truly want is not their dots still. They hold on. They hold on because they believe this connection has purpose, that it is not random, that it has meaning, that you are their soulmate not as a label, but as a truth that keeps proving itself. The more they try to forget, the more you return to their thoughts. The more they try to move on, the more life reminds them of you. In quiet moments, it feels like their heart speaks directly to yours. Like a whisper moving through the air. Like love turning into energy. Like longing becoming something that travels. A soft sigh leaves them, heavy with emotion, carrying a message meant only for you. They hope you feel it. Maybe as warmth. Maybe as a shiver. Maybe as a sudden thought of them. They believe that is their love touching you across distance. This connection is not heard with ears. It is felt in the soul. Distance does not weaken it. Time does not erase it. It waits. Inside them, the urgency grows stronger. Life feels like it is speeding up. Events feel aligned. What once felt far now feels close. What once felt uncertain now feels inevitable. Doubt fades. Waiting forever becomes impossible. They feel guided. Every decision feels connected to the path that leads to you. Even when they try to focus elsewhere, their heart points toward you like a compass that never shifts. They believe the universe is arranging things quietly, clearing paths, aligning timing, preparing space. The reunion feels near. Love is moving things into place. When you finally meet, they believe it will feel like fulfillment rather than excitement, like peace rather than chaos, like something holy rather than dramatic. Like coming home. This love feels protected, guided, blessed, like a gift meant to build rather than break, to bring clarity rather than confusion, to last.